real.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Get Real. In this segment,
I'm here, dude.
Tom, he's not invisible, everybody. He had to disappear for a second. He'll be back. But he can hear me, and that's all that matters. So let's get this started. I want to, again, continue on what I was talking about last week. And I want to first get into how I think we could approach nutrition a little bit differently than we do. Again, I'm going to say it again in this episode. I'm not talking to bodybuilders. I'm not talking to athletes. I'm not talking to CrossFitters. I'm not talking to people who love what they're doing. They're happy with the results they're getting. And period. You do you, your body, you do you. I don't care. I just am giving out alternatives to people that don't want those things. And I feel, again, there's a lot more of those people. I also feel maybe you could learn something, even if you are in one of those other categories. Maybe you'll learn something new. But mainly I'm speaking to the other 80%, like I've said in other episodes. Now, Tom, you know this. And we've done, how many different diets and trends have we done through the years together?
A lot. Definitely a lot. I mean, I wouldn't say some of the really fad diet stuff that was really ridiculous, like some stuff that was really dumb, you know. But over time, at least for me, I've tried a lot of different stuff. Yeah, I mean, but it's not everything. What works for most people doesn't work for everybody. So a lot of trial and error stuff.
Yeah. Oh. So, and I have had a lot of. I've done not everything, but I think I've tried through my life just about everything right and wrong. I really. So that's why I feel like I have more of an intimate knowledge of appreciation or hatred for certain things because I've tried them.
Yeah.
And the benefit versus what you have to put in for it is so not worth it with a lot of this stuff. And I know a lot of people are doing things they don't want to do. And again, if you're happy, do it. I don't care. You know, do what you do. But I know there's a lot of unhealthy people. You hear it every day. You know, that people are not healthy. Healthy people don't need to go to the doctor all the time. You know, that's how you know you're healthy. Is you don't get, you know, everybody gets sick. I'm not saying you're not going to get sick. How you recover from the sickness, how often you get sick, that has a lot to do with health. But everybody gets sick, you know? So, but people don't realize with nutrition that their diets are like different types of cars, okay? You got your Mediterranean car, you got your keto car, you got your carnivore car, you know, you got your Atkins car, you got your Weight Watchers car. You see where I'm going with this? You got all these different cars, right? And everybody thinks theirs runs the best and theirs is the fastest, right? And most comfortable. Put you in the least amount of discomfort. But guess what? You're all going to the same place, which is you're going to start thinking about what you put in your mouth. That's one. Because when somebody's not
absolutely
on a diet or eating normal food on a regular basis, they're not thinking about what's in their mouth at all. I would even say that a lot of people who aren't really crazy about how they look don't really know how much they put in their mouths every day, even if they don't look or feel unhealthy. But I feel like, again, everybody has their favorite car and all this stuff, but all of it is going to be you're looking at what you're eating, so you're eating less of it. You're not eating a lot of processed food or sugar. Every diet, you're not eating that. And that's a big,
Just about, yeah.
That's a big crappy. No, I'm talking about processed sugar. I'm not talking about carbs. I'm talking about processed sugar. There's no diet that has processed sugar in it. Zero. There's ones that have carbs and ones that don't, but not processed sugar. Processed sugar is garbage. It tastes good. It makes things taste good, but it's garbage. Period. Your body doesn't need it at all. At all. So you're eating less, you're not having that crap, and most likely you stopped eating something that your body was intolerant to or even allergic to.
Exactly.
So put those three things together, you're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. You're going to feel all these things, like I've said before, like you're going to feel before you see. And you're going to think, wow, I got here safer and better because of my car. Not that I drove the safe road to the same place that everybody was going. It's the same thing. Everybody with those doing those same things. They're eating less. They're cutting out crap sugar, and they're eating more basic foods. So they're most likely stopped eating something they're intolerant to. And all three of those things will feel great. Of course. And what's funny is you'll always hear about 3 to 4 weeks in is when I really started feeling good. That's about the time frame it takes to get whatever you're intolerant to out of your body. So it tracks.
That's an awesome point. That's an awesome point.
It's just the way it is. It's like about third to fourth week to like, and it's because of my car. That's what it's because of. It was my car. You know,
well, in this day and age, you see how many people are, gluten intolerant or sensitive.
Yeah, and they don't realize it.
That's in so many things. It's almost everywhere. Another pay homage to John Panette, bro. He's like, what's got gluten? Everything. He's like, but really, it's like there's things that are processed. The things that are processed at plants where they process gluten, that has gluten, even though it's not a gluten product, something that would have gluten, so you're just like, shit, it's got gluten anyway. And it's like these days, there's so many people, almost everybody I know has some kind of
what the
sensitivity
sad part is, dude?
To it, and it fucks them up bad.
It's not even the gluten itself, it's the gluten in America. If you ever travel abroad and have bread or stuff and beer outside,
they don't have that problem in Italy.
No,
they don't have that problem in Italy.
No, not at all. So,
and Italians and their bread and their grain, forget about it. Forget about it.
Look at everything. Look at Africa. Look at the Iraq and all them. If you see them eat, what's the base of everything they scoop with and eat with is bread. That's what people used, and they still do. Why are they all not dropping dead and they're like dying and being morbidly obese? Everything they eat has carbs. They eat beans. Again, it's a different kind of carb. Again, I'm not going to get into all that now, but it's a different kind. But they're eating heavy and beans. And why is their stomach so screwed up from that?
How was it grown and what kind of?
It's a totally different kind of wheat and stuff.
Completely different crop.
Yeah. I believe it's called like heirloom wheat or something. Heirlooms, something like that. I don't quote me on that. That I'm not sure of, but it's a totally different kind of wheat. So again, I don't want to confuse people with that. Here's what I'm trying to get at. All you have to do
allergies are a big part of it. Yeah,
allergies are a big part of it, of feeling bloated as well.
Oh, dude.
It's an inflammation. Period. Mm-hmm. Muscles get inflamed. Other things get inflamed. Organs get inflamed. You know what I'm saying? So it's and that is hurtful. And people aren't in tuned enough to know that exact pain over there is this thing here, and this pain over here is this thing here. People don't have that. So they think the worst. They go to the doctor, and then you got to do all kinds of tests and stuff. Again, I would say any diet is no different than doing the elimination diet, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's all because they're eliminating stuff. So an elimination diet is very hard mentally. It's very hard mentally. You're very restricted on what you can eat. It's not disgusting stuff by any means. Again, we can get into that maybe on another time, but that actual elimination diet, there's food you can eat, but it's very limited, and you're supposed to do it for 6 weeks. So it gets tough mentally. Physically, you're going to feel fantastic. You may go through an actual kind of withdrawal from some stuff. You might feel like crap for a little bit, but anyway. So what I want to try to get across to people with nutrition is, if you want to, you know why somebody chooses a certain diet over another diet? Because it's easier for that person to get to those 3 things I told you about. That's it. Somebody who likes to eat meat, what are they going to do? Are they going to go to the Mediterranean diet, which is a lot of vegetables and fruit? No, they're going to go to the carnivore or the keto. People who don't really dig meat all that much, where are they going to go? Maybe more the Mediterranean. Maybe they're going to go more the vegetarian, or if they have their beliefs against cruelty and all that, they're going to go full on vegan. And that's all depends on their beliefs and how much their work, it gets them easier to their goal. Again, somebody who doesn't eat breakfast, they're going to jump on the intermediate fasting thing. Because, again, it's an easy jump. They don't eat breakfast anyway. Trying to throw somebody on it that is that eats breakfast, it doesn't work. I've tried it with clients. It doesn't work. It's hard for them. So, it's just and by the individual. And again, if that is easier for you to get there, then go ahead and do it. I want you to realize, though, it's not that diet. It's just an easier thing for you to follow to get you to the 3 things I talked about.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is. I want you all to do that. And if that means you want to eat breakfast, you eat breakfast. You got to make healthier. Yeah, you still got to follow some guidelines. I'm not going to kid around. There's still some things you have to avoid. But again, if you avoid sugar, you eat more whole foods, and you try to tune yourself into more of your stomach and your mind connection, which happens more when you think about it, because when you're dieting, you have to eat certain times or do certain things. So you get that mind-stomach connection again. You think about when you're full and all that. So I just want people to understand that, listen, it's not that hard to eat better, to feel better. And you can go the harder route if you want, but I feel a lot of people don't want that. And I think it takes work, it takes support, it takes all those things. But there's definitely an easier way to drive with you that's not going to cost you millions of dollars either. And you don't need some special diet.
Yeah.
Okay, so and again, supplements. If you're an athlete, you want to go that extra mile. If you're an athlete, go for it. I don't care. Take them, buy them, spend your money on whatever. And if you're a regular person, spend your money on them. I don't care. I'm saying regular people, you don't really need them. You may need a supplement if you're deficient in a vitamin or deficient in minerals, or you're not getting enough electrolytes. There's time and places for things. But I don't think everybody needs to just take bulk everything. Regular people, I don't think it's necessary. You should be getting it from food. And again, if food is a problem with your schedule and things, then you talk about supplementing things. But it's not a go-to thing. It's not a you have to do to get there by any means. So, and again, unfortunately, nutrition is not marketed that way. On social media, on YouTube, on anything. It's not marketed. It's do this supplement, do this diet, take this, take that. You have to do this, you have to do that. It's not, let me show you a way, let me work with you to kind of ease you in there. And still, there's still going to be outliers that, are just not ready mentally to go there. Again, that's what it's all about up here. Let's not kid ourselves. It's all about up here. Okay? Whether you're ready to start or not, that's up here. It's not the diet. It's not your trainer. It's not the workout. It's not if you spend money on it. It's not going to be any of those things. You have to be ready up here. Those things can help, but none of it helps if you're not ready up here. So those are my thoughts on nutrition. Do you have anything to wrap up with nutrition? Because then I want to get into working out a little bit before we end up today.
No, I said what I had to before, so but I agree with you. Does my mic sound a little weird? I think my headphones went out.
They might have went out a little bit. You sound okay. You sound
okay.
Right.
Cool. No, yeah. So as long as you can hear. So the allergy thing. I think that was one of the things that when you mentioned that point to me, it really opened me up because I was like, damn, like I didn't even think about that. Because you're right. Every diet is an elimination diet in one way, shape, or another.
Yes.
And dude, allergies, especially as we get older, there are things that I'm allergic to, and everyone can vouch for me. You were allergic to shit as you get older that you were never fucking allergic to when you were young. Right. One day I woke up and it was springtime and I couldn't fucking breathe. And I'm like, I never have this problem. Springtime allergies, never, ever in my life. Just cats. Right. That was it. Just cats. Unfortunately, I've been allergic to cats most of my life. But it's like things as I got older, just all of a sudden you're allergic to something and you didn't even know it. Now, what about if that's internal and you're eating it, something you ate your whole life and you didn't even think about it, and now all of a sudden you're allergic to it? But because it's not natural, it's not from the earth, it's not, something like a more natural, true, real food, you're just like, until you do some kind of diet where you basically are getting back to basics, which most diets tend to do, even if it's eliminating this, eliminating that. Processed sugars are one thing, but there's other things that end up getting eliminated in the process. And then all of a sudden you're like, I feel so much better. Your right. GI motility is better, your track moves better, everything just benefits as your absorption of minerals, everything. It's all tied together, gut health, it's all tied together. So I agree with that. But I think it's cool that you mentioned that most diets are elimination based.
Exactly.
And people don't think about that. About that.
No, they don't. They don't. No, they do not. And it's unfortunate. I really wish they would.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the workout thing. I'm going to try to wrap this up in 10 minutes because that's another thing. I'll expand on it in the future about some different things, but I'm going to be real roundabout and basic with it.
Yeah.
I feel most people don't need a gym. Regular people that want to be healthy don't need a gym. They don't need a hardcore workout. They don't need to work for an hour and a half out. They don't need to work out 5 days a week. And their workouts can be fitted more and be a little more fun to what they like if they know how to do it themselves or if their trainer's good at doing that. And that could work for them. But where people start when they first go to a gym, I have a real problem with it. Again, I've worked in big box gyms before, so I know how they do it.
Yeah.
The first thing you're trying to do, obviously, is sell them on training. Let's not kid ourselves. That is your job when you work at a big box gym, is when you have a free set. You know how you get sometimes some free sessions when you join a gym? Or sometimes the trainers will walk around and be like, hey, brah, hey, I see you doing some rows. They're looking pretty cool. Hey, you ever think about doing this? Something like that. And they'll be like, hey, let me show you this. Let me show you this workout over here. And then, okay, hey, you want to buy some sessions with me? That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
We're supposed to get sessions. So, I'll give you a free one. I'll give you a free hour. I'll walk around. They want us to bother people on the treadmills and on the cardio equipment. I'm like, I don't want to bother people. When people go on there, they zone out. They watch a show. They listen to music, whatever.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk. So, but what's the first thing that usually happens when you sit with a trainer? They're going to say, let's weigh you. Okay, first of all, 90% of people, that's going to turn them off right away. Right away, because they don't want people to know what they weigh. Okay, maybe 10% are there actually. They're like, yeah, I want to know what I weigh. I blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Because most of them, remember, it's kind of getting thrown on them. They didn't ask for the training. It's kind of getting thrown at them. The salesmen are supposed to push it. They're supposed to push it. Like, it's free. There's no commitment. So a lot of times you'll have people come in. You'll know right away you're wasting an hour. You know it. Some of them are quite upfront with you, too. But you have to do it. But So it's weigh them, already turn a lot of people off, and then it's like, all right, we're gonna have you squat, we're gonna have you push something, we're gonna throw you on a machine over here, blah 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 blah, like that. I aside from one or two, I don't think any person should squat because most people don't know how to do that movement right. Like again, regular people don't know how to do that because hence why most people are hurting. Because if you can hinge your hips and do a squat, two movements of the lower body, and you can do them efficiently, you're not in pain. You don't have back pain. You don't have knee pain. You don't have ankle pain. You don't have foot pain. For the most part. There's always exceptions. When there's other issues going on, there's exceptions. But you don't have any of those things if you could do those movements. So, most people do a squat and, there's proper ways to teach it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. It's hard to I love working with somebody that's never went to a gym before because it's like an empty cup, man, and you can fill it. When you got somebody that comes in and has done all these things and knows all these things and watches videos and watches these blah, 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 it's really hard to get them to try new things and to do new things. It's really difficult.
Yeah, it's like Yoda. You must unlearn what you have learned.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yoda knew what was up. He was the original personal trainer, dude. He really was.
An empty.
So I just think that's why a lot of them don't buy training because that's not what they want. That's not at all what they want. Trainers need to be more welcoming and just meet a person where they're at and just get to know the person. Like a first consultation or setting that I meet a person, I just want to get to know them. I mean, I tell them what I do, but I just want to get to know them and maybe connect on something first. Because if a person has a wall up, they're never going to want to do anything. So I think that wall needs to be broken down as a trainer, is to break down that wall and let them know, hey, I'm just here to help and we're going to go at this speed. And hey, guess what? You don't have to do that. You do this. It doesn't have to be that way. It could be this way. Oh, you didn't do that today? That's okay. Well, this is going to be this way now. Just understand that. But we're good. Let's just stay consistent. The big C word that nobody likes. The other C word that nobody likes. Consistency.
Unless you're in Britain.
Right. Well, then it's the same thing as saying mom. But that's the thing. It's really hard. And it's not a week. Sometimes it's not a month. Sometimes it's not 2 months. Sometimes it's 5 months, a year. But when you stay consistent, again, doesn't mean you're killing yourself. You're just staying consistent. Then things happen. And unfortunately, most people are starting at a really bad point. And if we address those points better and help them get back to a balance, again, I've talked about that, back to a balance, and then going wherever the client wants to go, I think more people would keep doing it. I don't think it cuts people out that don't have a lot of money. I think it's very attainable for anyone. And I think it's doable just about anyone. Again, there's always exceptions. Some people have more mental things going on that they have to work on before they can get there. Most people, though, can get there. I really believe it. And I believe if we did that better and didn't say that only this workout, basically, the two things are the same, the nutrition and the workout. Everybody's telling regular people, you have to eat this and you have to work out this way to get there. And if you do it this way, we promise you won't have to work hard. We promise it'll be super fast. We promise it'll be sustainable. All those words that people want to hear. That's what they base everything off of. Is that. And then it just like, humans like to be in tribes. People like to be this. So now you have the tribe of Beachbody. You have the tribe of CrossFit. You have the tribe of carnivore. it's just going to be the way it is. But again, the people that aren't in any of those things or have tried those things and don't like them, I'm telling you all right now, there's another way. There's an easier way. And again, if consistency is hard for you, then it's not an easy way. It's going to be hard. But if you are somebody who can be consistent, I'm telling you, it's not as hard as you think. Okay, I'm telling you that right now. And again, I'd like to expand on that in the future, but that's my thoughts on how we market nutrition, working out in a nutshell. I think we could do better with that. And I think we'd have a lot more people seeing a lot more results if more people did it that way and we heard less of the noise of what the athletes and the bodybuilders and the narcissists are doing. I think that would be fantastic. Your final thoughts, Tom?
I'm sorry, you said narcissist. I thought you were talking about my ex-wife. No, I agree.
All right, I think
that.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, dude. Go ahead.
No, I think that the most important thing is consistency with anything. Consistency with diet, consistency with working out, with movement. Above all things, and it's too easy. When you feel like you're invincible, when you and me were in our 20s, bro, we felt like we were invincible. Felt like we were never going to get hurt. Nothing could touch us. We could work out every day, never get injured. Like injuries almost never happened. It felt like.
Yeah, dude, you know what the most sobering thing is, bro? Is the day you realize that warm-up could no longer be a light set of whatever you're doing.
No, not anymore. Back in the day, maybe we're like, all right, it's a late set. No, not no more. Now you have to ease into it. Everything's tight. Everything has scar tissue.
You have to get mobility in there, dude. You have to get mobility in there before you move it.
Injuries pile up over the years, and however insignificant or significant, they start taking away from your mobility, your flexibility, and one day you just wake up feeling old as fuck. And that's what happened to me within the last year or two. Still going to the gym, still, maintaining, decent, doing good with my nutrition, doing good with my working out. You helped me a lot with stuff like showing me how to properly squat, for instance. No one ever told me that, I was working out forever, dude. No, when I was in football in high school, no one said, "Oh no, this is the proper way to squat." No one ever told me that. So it's until I was doing that the right way, dude, I had so much problems, bro. Hip problems, knee problems. Until you start squatting properly, even just free body weight, and you're just all of a sudden those problems tend to go away. Stretching is, dedicating time to that and being consistent with stretching, consistent with being moving, consistent with your nutrition. It goes through all phases. Consistency is the number one thing, not just going to the gym. It has to be a lifestyle change, and it's about being healthy. The word heal isn't healthy, and the word die isn't the word diet, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I saw that on your page.
Yes.
You're the first one I saw post that, and I'm like, that's the fucking truth, dude. Health is healing, and diet is like dying. It's like I'm being
this for 1 second. Think about this for 1 second, dude. Every time you see somebody on a diet, are they talking about how wonderful it is? Or are they talking about the date when it's going to end so they could eat normal again?
They hate it. And the first bag of chips or fucking bag of freaking bullshit that they could grab candy, they're going for it. Because they're not being consistent. And it's this constrictive fucking horrible thing. And they're not enjoying eating anymore. They're not enjoying it. If you're not enjoying eating, what the fuck is the point of life?
Right, dude, you gotta enjoy life. Period.
That's one of the few things we have been given on earth is to enjoy eating. You can make food fun again. We could make fitness fun again. It's the truth, man. It really is the real thing, dude.
Eat, sleep, love, baby. Eat, sleep, love.
Yeah. It really is about consistency, though. So that's the only thing I can add to that, because people don't understand how serious it covers everything. You have to be in it to win it. You got to be your own advocate, or your health will go right down the tubes so fast. You'll wake up one day like me, 30 years old, and 265 pounds of fat, no muscle, winded, high blood pressure. I looked horrible. And that was after you and me in our 20s lifting all the time and looking jacked and looking nice. Like, look, we looked basically the way we look now, maybe a little bit even better. But I mean, Jesus, we were in our 20s for fuck's sake. We could go to diners in the morning and eat shit and disco fries, and in the morning we'd still look good.
Right.
That don't happen after 30. After 30, it goes right down the shithole. It all gets harder and harder. I tell all these young cats at work, these young girls, I'm like, you can't be eating fucking that shit every day. You can't be eating McDonald's every day for breakfast. Once you hit 30, are you crazy?
You want to hear something interesting? You want to hear something that Vince McMahon said about cheat days? Yeah. This is what he said about cheat days, and I found it interesting. He said, I love cheat days, basically, and I'm not quoting him exact, but he said, I love cheat days because I feel that when you eat a little bit of crap every day, your body absorbs it more. But when you do a huge cheat meal, your body can't. So you basically just
shit the fuck out.
Right. So you, in the long run, you're actually not getting more.
Oh yeah, dude. When I cheat, it makes me not want to cheat though because
you feel like shit.
I'm in the toilet and I have acid reflux is back.
Yeah.
With a vengeance, bro. Like you go on vacation, you're like, fuck it, I'm on vacation. Who gives a fuck? I'm gonna eat what I want. I'll have the ice cream, I'll have the chips, I'll have the, all this processed bullshit. And you're like, next thing you know, you're like, I'm puking at 2 a.m, throwing up in my mouth, acid reflux back after not having it for years.
Yeah.
And you're in the toilet and you start feeling like shit. You look like shit. You come back from vacation, you're like, I look like I gained fucking 20 pounds. I'm inflamed everywhere.